Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is an exciting day because I'm actually going to be starting a new series. The series is going to be titled Makeup for Dummies, and this idea was actually given to me by one of my good friends. Her name is also Hannah, so thank you Hannah for giving me this idea. I'm super excited to be doing this. Today I'm actually going to be talking all about bronzing. So first I'm going to give you like my top recommendations for bronzers, both drugstore and high-end, and some of my favorite brushes to use. And then to end this video I'm going to be doing a quick demo utilizing both a cream and a powder bronzer. And that is why I'm looking extra pasty today. I'm already pale, but I don't have any blush or contour or bronze on my face. I'm just wearing liquid foundation. I've got my eyes done, my lips, my eyebrows done, but I left the rest of the face just blank, just so you can see how I bronze the face. So if you guys are interested in learning about some of my top picks for bronzers and some of my techniques that I use, go ahead and keep on watching. Thanks guys. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into the video. So first I just really want to talk about, I guess, some of my favorite bronzers. And this one was actually one of the first bronzers that I ever bought. It's definitely more on the luxurious end, but it's worth every penny in my opinion. This is the Soleil Tan de Chanel by Chanel, and honestly this got a lot of hype for a while on YouTube. So when I first started watching YouTube videos, this always kept popping up, especially during summertime, and for good reason. I went out and bought it. It was a pretty hefty price tag, but honestly, like, I've only put in a small dent in it, and I use this pretty often. So honestly, I think it's worth the money. It's a lot of product. It's a cream bronzer. It's very, very creamy. It's super blendable on the skin. I'm going to show you a quick little swatch, but you can see it just blends in really, really, really well. It's definitely one of my all-time favorites. It's what I go to the most probably when it comes to bronzers, especially if I'm in a hurry. I like to throw this on my face just really, really quick. It also smells delightful. So continuing on with the high-ended bronzers, I'm going to talk about the Too Faced bronzers. Now I have pretty much all of them because I have the little black book of bronzers. I think this was limited edition. It came out last year, I think. And so it has your matte bronzers. It has like shimmery bronzers and everything. But my favorites from this are definitely the Chocolate Soleil bronzers, which are their matte bronzers. So you get 3. And these come in full-size containers. So if you can't get your hands on this anymore, definitely go get a full size. They're awesome. They smell like chocolate, which, you know, is just awesome. It comes from Too Faced, so and they're made with real cocoa powder, and that's why they smell like chocolate. But so my favorites are the Milk Chocolate Soleil, the Chocolate Soleil, and the Dark Chocolate Soleil. So for me, I would typically use Milk Chocolate Soleil because I am fair. If you're medium, you would use chocolate. If you're more tan or darker complected, you'd want to do the Dark Chocolate Soleil. But you know, sometimes I'm a rebel, and even though I'm super fair, I'll use Dark Chocolate Soleil. I don't care. I like them all. So, and as long as you're light-handed with them, especially if you're really fair, you can make it work. But the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzers are definitely in my top picks. Now I'm going to be talking about another set of like matte bronzers, and these are actually from the drugstore, and they're not really categorized as bronzers. They're actually categorized as, like, they're in a contouring palette, and they're by Wet n Wild. And so you get, I have 2 different shades. This is the, what is this? I have Dulce de Leche, which is the lighter shade, and Caramel Toffee, which is a little bit of a darker shade. So this one comes with like kind of a banana powder. I'll show it to you. Like a banana powder here. And they're really creamy. I'm actually really impressed with these powders in general. They're really finely milled and really creamy and buttery, just especially for what you pay for them. I think they're like $4 or $5, I think. I got them at Walgreens too. So, and then this is Dulce de Leche. This is the lighter version. So you can tell this powder here is a little bit more pinkish and this is more yellow. Just like, you know, in the darker one. This is definitely more warm. And this is more on the neutral side. And these can be used as contour powders, but I think they work really well as bronzers as well. So, I found that I've had a hard time finding good bronzers from the drugstore. I don't know if I'm the only one. If you're watching this and you have a really good matte bronzer from the drugstore, tell me in the comments below, because I really want to try it if I haven't already, because I have not had good luck in the drugstore in the bronzer area. But these honestly have impressed me. If you're a babe on a budget, go check these out because they're good. They're really good. The last bronzer I want to talk about is probably, it's one of my all-time favorite bronzers, and it's a cult favorite. So there's really no surprise, and it's by NARS. And if you've been watching YouTube, you already know what I'm talking about. It's NARS Laguna, and I actually don't have like the individual one. I actually only have it in this Stephen Klein palette, and NARS Laguna is right here. And NARS Laguna is just beautiful. I find it very like neutral like, and I was reading on the Sephora website before I started filming this that this is like a bronze shade with golden shimmer. And honestly, I don't really see a lot of shimmer in this bronzer, which I think is why I like it. This works on so many people. Someone asked me, what bronzer should I get? I don't have a bronzer. What bronzer do you recommend? I would recommend NARS Laguna, hands down. So those are my favorite bronzers. You guys let me know in the comments what your favorite bronzer is, because I really want to give it a shot if I haven't done so already. I mean, I've tried a lot of different bronzers, but these were just ones that have really stood out to me since I've started really getting involved with makeup. So yeah, let me know your favorites, and now I'm going to go into the brushes. I really only use 2 brushes for bronzing, and they're both really affordable. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Real Techniques powder brush. You can get this at Ulta. This is the one I started using when I first started bronzing. It's really, I like the big fluffy brushes for bronzing. It's a little bit like more flat on the sides, and it's also more fluffy, so it's not as dense, so it's not going to deposit as much product, and it's going to maneuver the product and put it on your cheekbones the way that you want it to. So another brush that I have is the ever so popular Morphe N527, and yes, it's like dirty, but this is the one I've been using as of lately. It's my go-to. It's my favorite right now. But yeah, just the same thing. It's more flat, but still really, really fluffy. It's going to just deposit the product really nicely in a way that's not too heavy on the skin, because you don't want to put a lot of bronzer on the skin because you will immediately start to look orange. So these 2 brushes are my favorites for powder bronzers. And this one right here is the Sigma Angle Kabuki brush. It's the F84, I believe. I can't really tell. The writing is kind of rubbed off because I've used this so much, but this is what I like to use for cream bronzer. It is more dense because it is a kabuki brush, and I will explain the difference between these 2 and this one, and why I would choose to use a dense brush with a cream or a liquid over more fluffy brushes when I get into the demo. Yeah, so those were just my favorite brushes. Those are the ones I pick up the most. Definitely tell me your favorite bronzer brushes. I'd really like to know, especially the affordable ones. I think finding affordable options for me and for myself and for my friends, that's really important to me. So yeah, go ahead and leave it down in the comments, and now I'm just going to go ahead and get on to the demo portion of this video. And first, I'm actually going to be using the Soleil Tan de Chanel. Since this is a cream product, I have not put any powder over my liquid foundation. So The reason why I haven't put any powder over my liquid foundation to set it yet is because I was planning on going in with this. Since it is a cream product, if you put cream over powder, it's going to kind of cake up. And I really just wanted to demonstrate how I use this product. I put on my liquid foundation and that's it. So I'm going to use my Sigma F80 Kabuki brush, and I'm just going to demonstrate just what I do on a daily basis with this bronzer. So I'm just going to take it, I'm just going to pat it in there. Not too much. I actually kind of pat it on the back of my hand. You see how much just kind of came off? And the key with bronzer is that you kind of want to make like a 3 on your face. So basically you start up here at the forehead, you come down here, and then you go to your jawline. So you create a 3 or an E, but I just see it as a 3. So basically this is just where the sun will naturally hit your face, and that's where you want to bronze. You don't necessarily want to bronze your entire face, just these areas, just to add more dimension and more glow and color to your skin. So I'm not going to necessarily start at my forehead. I'm just kind of going to go right here. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to pat the product. Now I am not rubbing the product, because if I rub the product, it's going to disturb the layer of foundation that's already on my face. So here, you see, I just add a little bit of a sun kissed glow just because I tapped off the excess. Since I am so fair, I do not want a lot of product. But I love the color that this particular product gives. And you see I'm just kind of going up towards my temple and my forehead just to even the color out a little bit more. And then I'm gonna just add a little bit more down here, just a little bit of it at a time. You can always add more, especially if you're fair. Be really, really careful, because you can turn orange, you can turn into an Oompa Loompa just like that, so just be very careful. But I know when I first started using bronzer, I would either put way too much or way too little, where you literally couldn't even see it, or it was just a disaster. So just be very careful with that. Don't forget, you can always, always, always add more. And don't forget, you do not want to rub. If you rub, the foundation will move as well. So yeah. So this is why I prefer to use a dense kabuki brush for my cream bronzers, because I am patting it in, whereas with the powder bronzers I kind of rub it in a way. Not necessarily rub, but just like I fluff it around, and you'll see that in just a minute because I will be demonstrating that as well. But as you can see, I am going in that 3 shape. So I am just kind of putting the bronzer where the sun naturally would hit my face. So yeah, that is what I do first, just kind of on a daily basis. And now, since I am going to be going in with a powder bronzer, I'm going to be using the NARS Laguna bronzer today, just because that's what I typically use on a daily basis. I am going to set my entire face with a powder. Not heavily, but very lightly. So I'm going to be using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Light. This is one of my favorite powders. It's super, it's not transparent, but it's not super heavy. It's very light on the skin. And the reason why I'm doing this is because you want to put creams over liquids, but you typically want to put powders over powders. So basically, your bronzer could, if I just put the bronzer on right now, it could end up being a little bit patchy on my skin, and being a little bit splotchy. But if I layer my face with a very light coat of powder, it's going to blend out a lot smoother than it would if I didn't have this on. So the brush I'm going to use is This one right here, it's by Face Secrets. It's the deluxe powder brush. I don't know, I've had this brush forever, but super fluffy, so it's not going to deposit a whole lot of powder, but it's going to get just enough to just sort of lightly coat my skin. So I'm just pressing this into my skin, and as you can see, it's not covering up the bronzer I already have, because this is not a super heavy or pigmented powder. I would say it's not, I mean, it covers a little bit, but not too much. So that's my first step. Now I'm actually going to use my Morphe M527 brush, and I'm going to go in with my NARS Laguna bronzer. So I'm just going to tap it in like this, and then I'm just going to go over where I've already put the Chanel bronzer. So really, I'm just going to, oh, my hair. I'm just kind of going to fan my face or my cheekbone, just where I want the bronzer to go. So I'm not heavy-handed with it again. I'm very careful, and also since I have more of a round face, I typically add a little bit more bronzer and contour on the temples of my face, because that is going to slim my face rather than just leaving that blank or like highlighted, because shading will like bring that back. Alright, you guys, so that was my first installment of the Makeup for Dummies series. If you want to see more videos like this, or if you like this video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. If you want to see more videos like this, or have any ideas for the Makeup for Dummies series, go ahead and leave a comment down below of anything you want to see. And yeah, like I said, go ahead and tell me your favorite bronzers, especially if they're from the drugstore. I'd really love to try them. If you are new to my channel, or you just haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel right down below. I'd really appreciate it so much. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.